And are you all able to hear me?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We can hear you.
I
Yes,
don't.
we can hear
Oh,
you.
there's programs too. All right.
Hold on.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's go ahead and get. I'm sorry, Miss Lewis, you said something?
Yeah, I was just letting you know it's just me running the show by myself. So
Okay.
don't
What's my reset date?
don't go too fast on me.
I'll try. What's my reset date?
Today is 2 weeks from this week will be the November the 21st.
Okay. Is that Tuesday or
That's
Thursday?
on a Thursday.
Wonderful. Makes things easier. All right, let's begin. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the state expedited accusations calendar in the state court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams, and at this calendar today, we will set bonds for those individuals who've been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have the right to counsel at this proceeding today. As you can see, I am conducting this hearing by video. I'm not there in person with you. If that means this particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this particular proceeding. When I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. Um, and I believe I've given everyone the proper introduction and explanation. I see Ms. St. Flex has asked for breakouts for those following positions. Are there any other announcements for the state or defense before we begin?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Can I ask a question? I didn't see a case that was not accused. I didn't get no information. I just want to know what happened to Tobias Walker.
Is
That
that
is a homicide case. It was on first appearance at
it was
11
sitting
a.m. And
upstairs? Yeah,
yeah,
it
Okay,
was
so that's not
elevated to festive felony.
okay. I didn't get no information, so I didn't know. Thank
That's
you.
fine. And is there any defense attorney that has not had the opportunity to interview their client? All
Also,
Your
right.
Honor, there is, I apologize if I just talked over somebody. I do apologize.
it's
There
me,
is a,
it's Miss Lewis. I was just letting the judge know that on position number 2, there was an add-on charge for simple assault. So there's 2 charges instead of 1. I saw the add-on.
Okay. Okay.
and it's my understanding there's somebody in the Oconee County Detention Center, and I wasn't able to speak with him.
Who was that? Do you know?
I apologize for not referencing the calendar first so I can give you a position. Thank you for your patience. It's Baron Tutman. That's position
Okay, so
20.
20. So you haven't had a chance to speak to him. When Oconee logs on, Miss Lewis, will you put her, Miss Armstrong, in that breakout?
Yes, I can do.
Okay,
Thank you, Ms. Lewis, and thank you, Judge.
okay. All right, who do we have at courtroom 2?
I am Frederick Lee, Judge.
Okay, thank
This
you.
is position number 10, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lee, your case is 24 CR 007571D.
Your Honor, that's one of my
Breakout requested.
yes.
Okay, can we take, does Mr. Lee have to go right now or can he be taken at the end? At the courtroom 2?
We would prefer him go now. He is in a wheelchair. We would have to wheel him back.
Okay. All right, let's go into a breakout room. Can please use the raise hand feature so if you need to be included, so Ms. Lewis can move us in quickly.
Okay.
how do I raise my hand?
I was thinking the same
That's,
thing.
I know it's
There's a
you.
little button down at the bottom that says raise hand.
Because I know it's
Oh, okay.
One is the clerk.
Not that.
um I gotta search for people names. And and I don't know if I could come in. I'm recording, so I'll have to stop the recording, the live recording, if I come in the room. So I guess y'all have to tell me what's up. Did everybody?
You're muted, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, in this case, you are charged with fair evasion and 4 counts of obstruction. Do you understand your rights today? He's muted. Can we unmute him for a moment? You say you understand your right?
I understand my rights and the lies as well, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Howard.
For 2024 FTA, disorderly conduct obstruction. 2020 fade to stop for blue light conviction. This is Lee, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Resident of Anderson, South Carolina. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Desiano.
Your Honor, this incident happened yesterday at the MARTA station. The defendant was trying to enter through the broken fare gate without paying the required fee. The MARTA security approached him and told him that he couldn't do that. He ignored the officer's instructions, continued to walk to the south end of the station. The officer informed the defendant that he would go to jail if he did not comply. Then the defendant became very disorderly, shouting and yelling. The officer instructed him to put his hands behind his back and reached for his arm, and he jerked away and tackled him to the ground. And from that point, the officer could not subdue him and called for backup and held him down for a period of time until several officers had to come. And Your Honor, there was a battery charge that was associated with this case. However, it was dismissed for lack of probable cause because there was an injury to the officer. His nail bed actually, his nail came off in the course of this struggle. And upon further information, this case may be upgraded to felony obstruction depending on the injuries. We're requesting a $500 surety bond for each count. That's a total of $2,500. Stay away from MARTA, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
All right, Ms. St. Flex.
Yes, Your Honor, we are requesting that based on the financial circumstances of Mr. Lee, he is unable to afford a $2,500 surety bond. He is currently not working. Additionally, Your Honor, he is not a flight risk. We do not believe he is a flight risk. We do believe that he will return to court in the future, and he has ties to the community. So we are requesting a signature bond in his case.
Okay. I'm sorry, did the state request any type of stay away? You did say stay away from all murder.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does he
At
have
this
any?
point, it's my understanding from the warrant that he's been issued a permanent ban after this incident, so he has to stay away anyway.
Okay. Defendant is going to receive a $50 cash bond, $10 on each count. He is to comply with any active murder restrictions and have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing
Your Honor.
additional.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
We have petition number 2, Ms. Chambers. Senate Green Chambers.
Okay. So Ms. Chambers, in this case, it's 24 CR 0075559. I'm sorry, missed the number. 24 CR 00755 In this case, you're charged with simple battery, family violence, and simple assault. Do you understand your rights today? All right. Mr. Howard.
First,
Okay, thank you. Ms. Destiano, please proceed.
Your Honor, we did add a charge very last minute. The victim sent us a video. I'll explain in a second. This incident took place on November 7th. Officers were dispatched to the location 2135 Godby Road, apartment 31-193 regarding a domestic dispute. The victim in this case is the father of the defendant's child, and they also live together. He stated that his girlfriend struck him multiple times with a closed fist, and also stated at some point during this argument the defendant had a knife and the victim was able to disarm him. There were no injuries from the incident, but it did take place in the presence of their 10-month-old child. After speaking with the victim shortly before court and reviewing a video, the state would proffer that there is a video where the defendant goes into the kitchen and grabs a knife, approaches the defendant holding the knife like this toward him, telling him he needs to get out or else, essentially, and he needs to take the child with him. She then follows him around the apartment while he is saying, okay, please calm down, I'll leave. And the child is around during this incident as well, Your Honor, so that extra charge was added. And of course, we will be requesting an upgrade based on what we've seen. However, because of the timing, it just didn't make it today. We've been in touch with Mr. Thomas today. He states that the parties have been together for approximately 1 year. They do share a daughter together. They reside together at the incident location. He stated that there has been a DV history between them. This is the first time he's called the police. He states the defendant has angry outbursts daily, and he says that she often makes their child cry by yelling in her face and calling names. He believes that there's an MH issue that's possibly undiagnosed, or if she is diagnosed, she's not taking medication. Confirm the events in the warrant. He wants no contact for him or his daughter. He would like a mental health evaluation and a stay away from the location and anger management, Judge. And we are requesting a $2,500 surety bond on the battery, a $5,000 surety bond on the simple assault, no contact, stay away, family violence intervention or anger management, an MHET, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. And if Your Honor can sound for Mr. Thomas, he's on the line.
All right, Mr. Thomas, please raise your right hand and unmute if you wish to make a very brief statement. You are not required to make a statement, however, but if you wish to, this is your opportunity to do so. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What I am most concerned with is any concerns you have for your safety and desires for contact. Whether you wish to add to the facts as explained by the state or you disagree, that's not my primary concern, as this is a bond hearing and defendant is entitled to a bond today, as this is a misdemeanor offense. So what would you like to tell me, Mr. Thomas, at this point?
Nothing other than the fact that I fear for my life and the life of my child. She's only 8 months old right now. She's not 9 months yet, and she witnessed all of this.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Ms. St. Flex, please proceed.
Your Honor, what's the additional charge? If the prosecution can state the additional charge added?
It's simple assault. It's the one on the calendar is simple battery, family violence, and simple assault was added.
Okay. First, Your Honor, we would just like to note for the record that we object to any re-airing on YouTube or anything. If the prosecution had MHET concerns or statements that the prosecution was going to give, we do believe that that should have been taken up in a room, in a breakout room, and that it should not be something that's repeated. So we would request formally that this part be silenced when this is re-aired on YouTube, as this is a public hearing for all parties. Additionally, Your Honor, as the court already heard, this is the first in life charge for Ms. Chambers. She she has not had any previous violent charges or charges like these. We do not object to the 1-day anger management class pretrial. We are asking for a signature bond pretrial release. Currently, Mrs. Chambers said there are some financial concerns and issues to where these allegations arose. The prosecution spoke of a video, but I do want to note for the record, we did not see that video this morning, so we cannot say what's in that video or what part the alleged victim did or did not take in this circumstance. So we are asking, based on her having an 8-month child, based on this being the first charge, based on the fact that she is a caretaker for the child and she has not been removed as a caretaker for the child by Department of Child Services, that she is given a signature bond because she is not going to be able to afford to bond out with another bond outside of a signature bond, and that she is it's no further violent contact because she does live at the residence. It's my understanding that her name is on the lease, and that she has nowhere to go if she is not allowed to return home.
All right. At this time, defendant is going to receive a $5,000 SOB through pretrial at level 1. It's going to be $2,500 on each count. She is to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case and to stay away from that incident location. She can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items. Additionally, they can coordinate transfer of the child through a third party. Additionally, she's to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and she's going to take the 1-day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional?
Your Honor, did you say a stay away?
Yes, she's gonna stay away from that incident location.
And just for the record, Your Honor, the second charge is simple assault, family violence.
Okay.
I think she said simple assault, but they're both family violence.
Judge, what level was that again? You understand? I'm video, I'm writing, and I'm trying to.
Level 1.
Just a little.
Level 1.
Okay, level 1. So total $5,000 SOB through the pretrial. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. This matter is now closed. Best of luck to you, ma'am. Who do we have next?
Position number 3, Daniel.
All right. Good afternoon. Your case is
I think
24.
Daniels is in my notation of.
Okay, Mr. Daniels has to go at the end. That's another breakout, please.
Okay. We can go to position number 11, Mr. McCluster.
All right, Mr. McCluster, please come forward. Your case is 24 CR 007560C. In this case, you're charged with obstruction and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You understand your rights? Is that a yes? All right, thank you. Mr. Howard?
Second, he was just arrested for entering auto obstruction, criminal damage to property. It's 24 PI 007337.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Judge, this incident took place yesterday. Officers were dispatched to a stolen vehicle in progress at 54 Ellis Street. When the officers arrived, he witnessed that 3 vehicles had been broken into. The caller provided a description of 3 males that she witnessed breaking into the vehicle, but because it was dark, she didn't get a very good description. And she actually fled the scene in fear after hearing all the glass breaking. So officers were canvassing the area around where the vehicles were broken in. They located 3 males about 2 blocks away, walking on Peachtree Center Avenue in John Portman. The officer that was canvassing activated his lights and attempted to stop the individuals. They all fled on foot. After a pursuit, they were apprehended and searched, and the defendant before you had marijuana on his person. The other individuals had stolen items in their possessions, credit cards and IDs that were not theirs, things of that nature. But none of the credit cards and IDs were the victims in the car break-ins that had just occurred. So there was not sufficient evidence to charge them with entering auto. He does, however, have that entering auto case that is open. And notably, that incident did take place about 2 blocks from where this incident took place. The state's recommending a 1,000 surety on the obstruction, Your Honor, and SOB on the marijuana, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
All right, thank you. Ms. St. Clair?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. McCluster is 17 years old. he stated that he's not working right now, but he is currently looking for a job. He does live with his mother, and he has significant ties to the community as his entire family lives here. As the court already heard, there's a lot being spoken about the car break-ins, but there was insufficient evidence to tie him to that. So we would just ask the court to give him a signature bond in this case, as his financial means are very, very limited.
All right. Defendant's gonna receive a $2,000 split bond. It's an 1,000 on the obstruction. That's gonna be a surety bond and 1,000 SOB through the jail for the possession of marijuana. Additionally, he needs to have no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing additional, Your Honor.
No,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Position number 7, Mr. Gordon.
I'm sorry, did you say 7?
Yes, 7.
Okay.
It's
Thank
position 6 and 7, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gordon, good afternoon. You have 2 cases. Your first case is 24 CR 007562A. You're charged with theft by taking, loitering and prowling, and criminal trespass, each with the offense date of October the 24th. And then you have 24 CR 007570A, in which you're charged with theft by taking and loitering and prowling, with the offense date of April the 15th of 2024. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
Second arrest, he got open theft by taking. It's 24 PI 006473.
All right, thank you, Ms. Desiano.
Your Honor, I'll go in chronological order, which is the opposite order in the calendar. Position 7 took place in April. These incidents both took place on the Georgia Tech campus. The one in April took place at the Student Center. The defendant was walking in the Student Center, which is a place that you have to have an access card to get into. He exits the Student Center and goes out to a bike rack. He spends some time looking around the bike rack for a while. This is all caught on camera footage. He then breaks the lock on a scooter and takes the scooter and rides the scooter off campus through Tech Square. Of course, the victim in this case, Colton Walker, reported the theft, which is why they were looking at the security footage. The second incident took place in October on the 24th, also on the Georgia Tech campus, different building, the Scheller College of Business. The defendant, along with other males, is seen entering the premises. They are asked to leave by the security guards. They leave the building but remain on the premises around the bike racks, loitering for a period of time, inspecting the bike racks. And eventually, the defendant steals another scooter of another Georgia Tech student, Kashav Kabra, and exits campus. Your Honor, the state's requesting a 500 surety on each count for both cases. So that would be 1,000 on position 6. I'm sorry, position 7 and 1,500 on position 6. Stay away from all of the Georgia Tech property, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. And if Your Honor can sound for Mr. Cabra and Mr. Walker. Thank you.
Okay, I will sound briefly, but the charges are theft by taking, so I'm not sure what they might need to add. Are either of those parties on this Zoom and wish to make a very brief statement? Okay, hearing none. Ms. St. Flex, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gordon has been living in Georgia for over 10 years with his mother and sister. He does help provide by doing little jobs that he gets on the side for his mother and sister. Additionally, Your Honor, he stated that he was working a few months ago, but then he lost his job and it placed him in a detrimental financial position, but he is currently looking for another job. We are asking the court for a signature bond based on his mother's circumstance financially, as well as his circumstance financially. He would not be able to afford a cash or surety bond. Additionally, Your Honor, he does inform me that he has a child on the way.
All right, thank you. At this time, as pertains to position 6, defendant's going to receive a $1,500 surety bond. That's 500 on each count. He is to stay away from the entirety of the Georgia Tech campus and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. As it pertains to position 7, he's going to receive a $1,000 surety bond That's 500 on each count. He is again, stay away from the entirety of Georgia Tech's campus. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing
No, Your
additional.
Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Gordon. That concludes your case. Who do we have now?
Let me see. Your Honor, if you could reread the rights, we have, the defendants from Alpharetta just came in.
Okay. I'll read them as I do the next person. Who's next?
Position number 9, Ms. Jackson.
All right. All defendants, please be advised you have an absolute right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney, and this particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. If I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. Ms. Jackson, your case is 24 CR 007564E. In this case, you are charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights today?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
6. Last arrest was on the 3rd of this month. Cobb County shoplifting, fleeing an officer. 2021 FTA, 2019 theft by conversion, dismissed.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ham. Please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. On June 21st, 2024, officers were dispatched to the Home Depot on Holcomb Bridge Road in Fulton County. Officers observed on surveillance video the defendant pushing a cart full of merchandise past the point of sales with an unidentified male. Defendant was approached by security and fled the parking lot. Based upon her history and this current charge, the state is asking for $1,000 surety bond.
All right. And stay away from that store.
I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor, and stay away from the Home Depot at 1580 Holcomb Bridge Road.
Okay. Ms. Armstrong, please proceed.
Yes, Judge, thank you. If not excuse me, I apologize. If not a signature bond, then $1,000 surety. We would agree with that, unless Your Honor is inclined to do the signature. Thank you.
All right. In light of the information before me, defendant will receive $1,000 surety bond, and she stay away from that particular Home Depot location. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Is there anything additional? All right.
Nothing further from the state.
Best of luck to you, Ms. Jackson. Who do we have next?
Position number 17, Ms. Rorex.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Rorex. Your case is 24 CR 007566G. In this case, you are charged with simple battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
3rd, 2011 public intoxication. That was out of Tennessee.
Okay, that's it. All right. Mr. Ham, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. The officers responded to 4311 Calabrese Creek Parkway in regards to a physical domestic call. Officers spoke to Latoria Alahuntush, who stated that her mother threw a soup can and hit her in her head, Your Honor.
Okay.
One second, Your Honor. Yes. Based upon his history, state is asking for a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. No further violent contact with Latoria Alhontosh, ALHONTOOSH.
Okay. Is Miss Latoria out? I'm sorry if I'm going to say it incorrectly. Alhontosh on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement at this time. Okay, hearing seeing none. Miss Armstrong, this is a bail restricted offense, so I have to give her the SOB through pretrial. Do you object to that with the I'm sorry, what was the state's position regarding contact? Has
No
anyone
further violent contact.
anyone not spoken to the victim?
We've tried to reach out to the victim. She hasn't responded, but we did make attempts to reach out to her. So at this point, we're asking for no further violent contact, being that they are related to each other.
All right. All right, Miss Armstrong, any objection to the SOB through pretrial? I would require the 1 day anger awareness and no further violent contact.
No, Judge, thank you.
All right, defendant will receive a $5,000 SOB through pretrial at level 1. She's take the 1 day anger awareness course and have no further violent contact with the alleged victim in this case. Additionally, she's to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition of that SOB through pretrial. Is there anything additional? All right, ma'am. Best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
Next, we go with position number 1, Mr. Ballard. Ballard.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 007569J. In this case, you're charged with driving while license is suspended or revoked and 2 counts of obstruction. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
21. 2024 FTA out of Florida. 2022 battery DV arrest. 2019 FTA. 2018 possession of cocaine conviction. And a 2015 probation.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ham.
Yes, Your Honor. On November 8th, 2024, officers observed the defendant traveling at high rate of speed. Defendant admitted that he should not be driving because he didn't have a license. Officers confirmed that the driver's license was suspended. Upon attempting to arrest the defendant, he pulled away from the officers, fled, and failed to obey the officer's command to stop. This defendant does have multiple suspended license convictions in Florida dating back from August 8th, 2016 through August 19th, 2024. As it relates to driving while license is suspended, the state is asking for a $1,000 surety bond, no driving as a condition of the bond. For count 2 willful obstruction, the state is also asking for a $1,000 surety bond. And for count 3 willful obstruction, the state is also asking for a $1,000 surety bond.
All right, thank you. Ms. Armstrong?
Thank you, Judge. We're asking that if there is a cash bond imposed, that would be as low as Your Honor is willing to make it. If he's not entitled to a signature bond, but we of course would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services if available.
All right. Defendant is going to receive, let me see, I'm going to split this. A $1,500 split bond. The driving while license is suspended is going to be a $500 signature bond through the jail. The obstruction each will be 500 surety, so he needs to make bond on 1,000. The other will be a SOB through the jail. He is not to drive as a condition of this bond without a valid license. And he is to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Is there anything additional?
No, Judge, thank you.
Nothing further from the state.
All right, Mr. Ballard, best of luck to you.
Please go to position number 15, Mr. Reed.
All right, Mr. Reed, your case is 24 CR 007579F. In this case, you're charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty in the third. Do you understand your rights?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, can I have the history, Mr. Howard?
Fifth arrest, 2022 probation, 2020 FTA, 2019 DUI conviction, 2017 shoplifting dismissed.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hill?
Yes, Your Honor. Officers responded to a call at 1601 Belcourt Parkway in Roswell in Fulton County, Georgia, in regards to a physical dispute. The defendant barricaded himself in a room in the home. The victim, Jalen Butler, indicated that the defendant came home smelling of alcohol. They had a verbal altercation that turned physical. The victim stated that the defendant physically grabbed her and pushed her from the bedroom. He also body slammed her by throwing her to the ground and the couch. Officers observed swelling inflammation on the victim's neck and minor lacerations. The victim's minor son was present throughout the whole altercation. And I believe the victim, Jayla Butler, is present and on Zoom, Your Honor. Based upon our conversations with her, she indicated that they have been together for 2 years. They don't have any kids together. They reside at the incident location. and that they do not have a DV history and she's not afraid of him. She indicated once again, she told us that he was intoxicated, and everything else with no warrant she confirmed. So she, at this point, is asking for no further violent contact, alcohol evaluation, and anger awareness. The state is asking for count one, a $5,000 bond through pretrial. Level two, no further violent contact with Jayla Butler, ADAT, and anger management. On count two, a $5,000 pretrial signature bond through pretrial level two. No further contact with Marco Turnessy. And the court would sound for Ms. Butler. I believe she's present.
Okay. So the state is asking for no contact with the child, but no violent contact with the mother in this case.
I apologize, no further violent contact.
Okay. All right, Ms. Butler, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge? You're muted. Please unmute, raise your right hand.
Sorry.
Do you swear or affirm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, what I'm most concerned with is any concerns you have for your safety and desires for contact. What would you like to tell me?
Like he mentioned, I just don't want any violent contact. I do not feel like I'm in any danger whatsoever. I agree with the anger awareness evaluation and maybe the alcohol evaluation. This is, like I said before, it's not normal. This has never happened before out of the 2 years that we've been together, other than little relationship arguments. But other than that, there has never been a time where I felt like I was in fear for my life or anything, nor has my child.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Ms. Armstrong?
Yes, Judge, we don't object to the state's proposal.
Okay, I'm not sure that that's what I'm going to do. So why don't you tell me about your client?
Yes, Judge. Well, we would also be asking for what the state asked for, essentially. And I do want you to know that my client does work. He supports his family, and my assessment of what happened resonates with what Ms. Butler has just provided to the court. So we would ask that you follow the state's recommendation, and we thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond, 1,000 on count one, 500 on count two. He's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition of that surety bond. And as a reminder, he is being reset to all purpose on the 21st, whereby aspects of the case can be revisited. Is there anything additional? All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 12, Mr. Murphy.
All right, Mr. Murphy, your case is 24 CR 00757. Is this one? No, it's not. 7573Y. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. You understand, right? Is that a yes? All right. Mr. Howard?
27. On probation, not a car for shoplifting. 2022 FTA. 2020 sale of marijuana. 2016 shoplifting. 2016 sale of marijuana conviction. He got holes out of Cobb, Clayton, and Henry County.
Any other criminal trespass?
I'm not sure. I didn't make a note of it.
Because that affects the bail restriction. Okay.
I made a note, Your Honor. There's no convictions that I saw for criminal trespass. This is an incident at the Chevron at 3819 Jonesboro Road yesterday. The defendant sleeps there, and he's been told multiple times not to go there. The officer that originally issued the trespass warning was driving by yesterday and saw him there and arrested him, and we're requesting an SOB release to one of his holds. Stay away, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Okay. Any objection to that? Whose case is this? Ms. Armstrong? Ms. St. Flex? Any objection to it?
I believe that was Miss Armstrong. Could you repeat the case number, Judge?
It's number 1224 CR 00757 Mr. Murphy.
Okay, I apologize, Your Honor. I apologize. I thought I heard something else. Was there SOB? I apologize. I thought that was Miss.
Release. Any objection to being released to the hold?
To the hold that he has, no, Judge. That's what our request is going to be for the Henry County hold released.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $2,000 SOB through the jail. He's required to stay away from the incident location, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Best of luck to you, Mr. Murphy. Who do we have next?
Excuse me, Judge, was somebody supposed to go in a breakout room when ACDC got on? I'm doing too much, so I'm just.
I think it was Oconee, not ACDC. What position was that Oconee again? Position?
Baron Tutman, that's position 20,
Yeah.
Judge.
I don't think that's them. I don't think Oconee has large on.
Okay, y'all just gotta keep reminding me because I'm trying to keep up.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
All right, who do we have next?
Good afternoon, Judge. This is going to be position number 18, Stevenson.
Okay. Has ACDC heard their rights?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Stevenson, your case is 24 CR 007576E. In this case, you're charged with battery family violence. You understand your rights? All right, this is her first arrest, so we'll go to Mr. Ham.
Yes, Your Honor. This case occurred on 1443 Vesta Avenue in East Point in Fulton County. Officers were responded to a domestic fight call. Officers spoke to the victim, Willie Trimble, who advised that his girlfriend, the defendant, hit him in the face with a handgun that was located in the residence. The defendant and the victim shared the same resident location. Based upon the incident, and even though we acknowledge that this is a first arrest, the state is asking for a $2,500 surety bond to forfeit all weapons, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, to have no further contact with the defendant, and have implement a third-party escort to retrieve her items from that location. In other words, to also stay away from that location.
Okay. Is Mr. Trimble on this call and wishes to make a statement?
We can sound for them, but I don't believe Mr. Trimble is on the call.
Okay. Sounding again, just to make sure. All right, Ms. Armstrong, please proceed.
Yes, Judge. We're asking for a bond through pretrial services, a signature bond rather through pretrial services, given that this is her first arrest. And just briefly a little bit about Ms. Stevenson, without going into any detail, because I recognize this as a public forum, I just want to alert Your Honor that she suffers from a significant medical concern for which she does receive assistance. And it is Ms. Stevenson's position that she lives with her mother. I do have that address for the court's consideration. And just given the circumstances of this incident, again, we reviewed the warrant and that's about it. I do, just for the court's consideration, I believe that there is a significant age difference with the state's complaining witness and Ms. Stevenson. Again, I'm not here to make any calls about that. I just want to just bring that to the court's attention. So again, we renew our request for signature bond through pretrial.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 2. She is going to surrender all weapons whatsoever. She's going to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. She can return one time to that location to get any items, but otherwise she must stay away from the address on Vesta Avenue. She must return with law enforcement to get those items. Additionally, she's to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and I re-emphasize she is to surrender or forfeit any weapons. And I did say that if I didn't say it, she's going to take the 1-day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional? All right, Ms. Stevenson. Best of luck to you, Ms. Stevenson. Who do we have next?
Number 16, Rollins, and she's representing herself, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Rollins, your case is 24 CR 007575F. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your rights?
I was never read my Miranda rights. I was never spoken to.
Okay, well, let me read you the rights as it pertains to this hearing. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney, and this proceeding is happening by video, and I'm not there in person with you. That means it's being broadcast over the internet. Do you understand your rights as it pertains to this proceeding?
Lolo,
Is that a yes?
Lolo,
I'm sorry, I can't understand it. Do you understand your rights today?
Lolo. It's either
Okay.
yes or no.
Okay, she's been read her rights, so we're gonna proceed. Mr. Howard?
This Rollins, right?
Uh-huh.
I got 03 FTA. Jail's a recommendation.
Okay. Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Judge, this incident happened yesterday at the airport property 2200 Rental Car Center
incorrect.
Parkway in College Park.
It's
She was
incorrect.
there. She's been asked to leave before. It's my understanding she's never been arrested before until yesterday, as it relates to the 3 previous trespass warnings she's received. We're requesting an SOB jail and a stay away, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Or I guess a stay away unless she's handling legitimate business at the airport.
Okay. All right, Ms. Rollins, you're choosing to represent yourself based upon the information before me, and I understand you've declined the services of the Public Defender's Office. You are going to receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. You are absolutely not to go back to that location at the airport unless you have legitimate business there. Do not go back and be hanging around. They do not want you there. Additionally, you to have no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and that concludes your case at this time.
I didn't even get to say anything.
Well,
You got
I'm
the
letting
signature
you
bond.
out of jail, all right?
That's not what Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Next, we have number 19, Mr. Sutton.
All right, Mr. Sutton, your case is 24 CR 0075771. You are charged with battery. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
Sutton 13 total. I got 2017 and 08 DUI. That's it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ham.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident, officers responded to 3535 Peachtree Road for an assault on a person. They met with the victim, Taisha Williamson, who indicated that her friend had asked the defendant for a lighter. He approached the victim and made a comment she didn't understand. The defendant then followed her and placed his finger on her nose, then punched her in the left thigh. The victim punched the defendant back in defense, but he continued to punch on her, causing a laceration to her right elbow, pointed finger, and causing a bloody nose. The defendant and the victim does not know each other. We were in contact with the victim in this case. She confirmed that she does not know the defendant. She indicated that she will not be on Zoom, and she wants no further contact and for him to stay away from that location. Based upon his history and this particular incident, the state is asking for a 2,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, and to stay away from 3535 Peachtree Road.
All right. I am going to sound for her, even though she said she won't be here. Is Ms. Williamson present, wishes to make a statement? All right, hearing none. Ms. Armstrong?
Your Honor, my client reports being gainfully employed and a resident of Atlanta for so far as he can remember. So, if Your Honor were inclined to grant a signature bond, of course you would ask for it, but we would ask for a cash bond as low as the court would consider. Thank you.
All right. Vendor is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, stay away from that location on Peachtree Road, and have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. And as a reminder, he's going to the all-purpose calendar on the 21st. Best of luck to you, Mr. Sutton. That concludes your case. What do we have
What was
next?
the address of the stay away?
3535 Peachtree Road.
Position number 4 and 5, Mr. Dean.
And that was position number 19 we just did, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Dean, you have 2 cases today. Your first case is 24 CR 007565F. You're charged with shoplifting and obstruction in that case with the offense date of November the 6th. You have another case, 24 CR 007568F. In that case, you're charged with shoplifting, 2 counts of it, in October of 2024 on the 23rd. You understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Howard?
Third, 08, suspended license. That's it.
Okay. All right, Ms. Desiano, please proceed.
Yes, ma'am. These are 3 incidents that all took place at the target location at 2539 Piedmont Road. The defendant was seen on surveillance camera in position, the first position, trying to exit the store with 2 boxes of Lego Star Wars and 1 box of Pokemon collectible cards. Total value is $470. He ignored the commands from loss prevention to stop and fled the scene. And while the officers were en route to the call, they saw the defendant running down the street with the merchandise in his hands, ordered him to stop, and he did not. In the second case, Your Honor, there's 2 incident dates, the 23rd and the 27th, both at the same target. The defendant's on surveillance stealing Legos again. In the first incident on the 23rd, he stole 3 boxes of Legos valued at $251.95. He essentially goes into the store, takes the items, and walks out with making no attempt to pay. In the incident that happened on the 27th, he removed 2 backpacks from the display case and then removed 3 boxes of Legos and walked out of the store making no attempt to pay. Your Honor, the state's requesting a $500 surety on all counts. Stay away from Target, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
And you said Legos? Okay.
Yes.
And the Legos are valued at $400?
Legos are very expensive, Judge. If you get the big,
Yeah,
$1,000 piece ones.
I have little kids, so okay. All right, Miss St. Flex.
Yes, Your Honor. For the first case, we are asking for a signature bond for those charges. We do believe this is a Riverside issue. We have his booking at 11/6, 11 a.m. So for the first case, we are asking for a signature bond. Mr. Dean, as you heard, has not had any charges in over 10, 15 years. He stated that he became residentially challenged during COVID. And this has been just a tough time for him. He used to work and have a CDL before he became residentially challenged. He also was in college for a certain amount of time doing project management.
I don't
We
mean
are
to interrupt you, Miss St. Flex. Hold on. Let's deal with the Riverside real quick. Miss Lewis, I know you're doing this alone. Can you take a look and see if you agree with Miss St. Flex's indication that he's been in for more than 72 hours?
Your Honor, it's
Yeah.
showing he was booked on November 8th at 8 a.m. So we would argue this is not a Riverside
On a
issue.
Riverside. I just want to double check.
oh, excuse me, I went by the warrant date.
Okay, so we don't think it's Riverside? Okay.
I can
All
verify.
right, I'm sorry, Miss St. Flex. Proceed. I just wanted to double check that.
No, he was just looking on November the 8th.
Okay, so I don't
Okay.
think it's Riverside there, Miss St. Flex. Okay,
Okay,
keep going.
yes, Your Honor. I was, for the record, I was going by the warrant date of 11/6. I didn't know he was arrested on 11/8. Additionally, Your Honor, as I stated, he does not currently have a job, so he is unemployed. It would be difficult for him to be able to afford to bond out on a cash bond or a surety bond. We are asking the court for SOB bond through the jail based on the circumstances also, as well as the allegations of this case.
All right. As it pertains to the case, for position number 4, defendant, let me see. Which is the earlier one? Position 5 is the earlier one. Okay, so for position 5, let's do that one first. Defendant is going to receive a $40 cash bond. That's $20 on each count, and he's to stay away from that target. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. And as it pertains to position 4, the later incident, defendant's going to receive a $1,000 surety bond, 500 on each count, and he's to stay away from that target. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Is there anything additional?
No, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Dean. Who do we have next?
Position number 8, Mr. Jackson.
All right, Mr. Jackson, your case is 24CR007561B. In this case, you're charged with battery. Do you understand your rights?
Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard, can I have history, please?
4, 2012, theft by deception, forgery in the first degree. Got first offender. 08, theft by receiving PTI.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Seattle?
Your Honor, this incident happened yesterday. Incident location 6200 Bakers Ferry Road. Officers responded to a dispute. The victim is Cash Johnson. She stated that she went out with her boyfriend to have drinks with friends. They were headed back home. An argument started about the way that the defendant treats her. She was upset, trying to express her feelings. At some point, she's crying. She goes to the bathroom. The defendant follows her and begins strangling her. The victim attempted to get away, scratched his face. She told officers that she was in fear for her life. The defendant fled the scene prior to police arrival, but he did return and was arrested on scene. The parties do not live together. Today, Your Honor, we have done a strangulation assessment on this victim, and based on the responses that we received and the injuries, she had bruising on her neck. We're requesting this case be upgraded to ag assault strangulation. We've been in touch with her today. She states that they're in a relationship, but they do not live together, don't have kids together. The incident location is the defendant's apartment. She stated they don't have a DV history. She wants no contact and stay away from her residence, which is 872 Maple Drive, Riverdale, Georgia. And I'll put that in the chat for you, Ms. Strong. Your Honor, the state's requesting a $2,500 surety bond, no contact, stay away from the 872 Maple Drive, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. And if Your Honor can sound for Ms. Johnson.
All right, Ms. Johnson, if you wish to make a statement, you're not required to do so. But if you do, please turn on your camera, raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. All right, Ms. St. Flex, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jackson has been living in Georgia his entire life. He has 2 kids. He has family members that lives here. His 8-year-old daughter and 15-year-old son, who he is present in their life, lives here. He was recommended for UJR jail release. He does not have any convictions, even though there is some history that was spoken about that obviously was dismissed or discharged. We are additionally asking the court for a signature bond because currently he is not working, so he is not able to afford a bond. Additionally, Your Honor, I don't know if the prosecution was saying that they're asking for an upgrade at a later date or if they're asking for one now. I just want to be clear for the record whether I need to speak as to that or not.
I believe Ms. Desiano said she's gonna do it later, but go ahead.
Okay.
Judge, can I just say I wanted
Hold
to
on, no,
actually.
we'll come back to you. Hold on. Go ahead,
Okay.
Ms.
Okay. That is all, Your Honor. He does have an address that we can provide the court, and he has no issue with the stay away. He has no issue with the
I'm sorry, Ms. St. Flex. I didn't mean to say you. Ms. Desiano, did you want to clarify that point? I was telling the victim to please hold. Do you intend to upgrade at a later date, or do you?
Your Honor, we got the strangulation assessment late this morning. I just need to send the email. I plan to do it after court, but I have not sent it yet.
I just wanted to make sure we were not arguing that this morning. But additionally, Your Honor, he does have an address that I can provide to the court. And as I was saying, he has no issue with no further contact. We have not seen the videos or the alleged evidence that the prosecution is referring to in the hearing as far as the strangulation. So we would just ask the court to take into consideration that he does not legally have prior convictions and go with the UJR jail release recommendation of the pretrial report.
All right, thank you. Ms. Johnson, if you wish to make a brief statement, please raise your right hand and unmute. Please unmute.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
You swear or affirm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what would you like to tell me?
I was just gonna state that, well, me and him is not in a relationship. We were just friends dealing with one another. We were both drinking. It hasn't happened previously or anything like that. I will be staying away from him, and I just wanted to make that very clear.
All right, understood.
Thank
All
you.
right, in light of the information before me, defendant is gonna receive a $2,000 surety bond. He's to
Understand.
have he's to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from wherever she resides. Additionally, he's to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and he is going to the purpose calendar on the 21st. Is there anything additional?
Nothing
No.
additional.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
The breakout, Your Honor, position of the
Uh,
third.
All right, can we be placed in the breakout sessions to this? What about position 14? Position 14, no breakout was requested.
1 second.
Is there an announcement for Marcel Norman?
Yes, he
I'm
posted,
sorry, go ahead.
Your Honor, he posted bond.
Okay.
One of them posted bond.
And the and
Number
posi-
14,
Number
bonded out.
14, think it's,
Is
yeah.
what about position 20? Is Oconee County gonna log in?
No, he said.
Okay, so
Your Honor, if I
Mr.
could be heard on that issue briefly, or I can do it after the breakout room, of course, too. I just
Okay.
want to make sure I address that one, Your Honor.
We'll come back to that one.
Will let me, thank you.
There was a
All
quite
right.
talking. What did the deputy say? Who was this?
14 had bonded out.
I got that one. Who was the other one? She said.
The other one was a reset. Apparently, Oconee County is not going to be able to log in today.
And defense counsel just to be heard.
That was
request to be heard
position
very
13.
That was 20, Tutman.
Oh, 20.
And then position 21, what was the announcement for that one? That one was not a breakout requested.
Waiver.
Watkins?
Yes, Judge, I apologize. I should have announced that at the outset, but he did request that I waive his presence on his behalf.
Okay. Let's do the waiver case before we do the breakout then. 24, well, no, we can wait. Let's not do that. All right, let's go into the breakout session, please.
And Your Honor, who are we going into the breakout room for? Position 13?
All other remaining positions, there's several. 3,
Okay.
I think 13. No, yeah, 313. And what was the other one, Miss St. Flex?
3:13.
310 and 13.
I think we did one already.
We did
What
10.
about 21?
21 we're holding, that's a waiver. So we're gonna do 3 and 13 in the breakout.
I need to go in the breakout, but I can't figure out for the life of me how to raise my hand. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think I know.
I think we can go back. Can we go? Oh no, those breakout rooms are closed. I thought we could go put ourselves back, but we
No,
can't.
I was trying to. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to see who all need to be in there. And then I will have to join, but I have to stop the live feed if I join. Unless y'all gonna tell me everything that's gonna happen in there. It's fine.